Hi, and welcome back to The Secret Life of Parkinson's. I'm Jessica Krauser.
And you are with Brian Baker.
I thought you were going to forget your name.
I did too, but I caught
You quickly remembered it. So today we're going to talk about some tips, quick tips for people to embed into their everyday life if they so choose to live better with Parkinson's. And we actually did an episode on tips and tricks last year.
Yeah, back in the day.
Episode number 8. So remind me again, though, what did you share on that?
Back then, I think it was like the electric razor, the electric toothbrush, the rocker knives.
And the rocker knife is that thing?
Yeah.
You still use that?
I don't use it too much anymore. I know Casey from our gym, she purchased one.
Are you able to cut now because of your DBS?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I can chop, 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 chop.
Oh, I didn't know. Seriously, though, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's a good...
I don't have to carry that big old knife around with me.
Yeah. Did you really take it to restaurants?
No.
Okay. And then you had a mouse, too.
Yeah.
You still use that one?
No, actually, I went back to regular mouse.
Did you?
I did.
That's great.
But I had the roller mouse with the ball on it.
I still don't. I still don't actually use a mouse anymore just because it's been weird. But anyways, I think that there are a couple other things just again in like things that we've incorporated into our lives that we do that we just don't even think about anymore that we wanted to share. And if anybody else has anything they want to share, they can leave a comment. But I have a couple that I'll talk about.
Go for it.
So the first one is you can eat a cookie with your medicine. Did you know that?
No.
So they always tell you with carbidopa levodopa, try not to eat with protein because it
mess up the absorption.
Yeah. And so part of the kit that was in a previous episode that we've talked about, the first set Parkinson's kit that we put together, we're adding a cookie by C. Kruger. It's a local Columbus cookie. They're amazing.
They are good.
And I had it in there, and so when I was showing Dr. Malone, she's like, you know what? She's like, I have a lot of patients tell me, like, is it okay that I eat a cookie with my medication? And she's like, absolutely. So I was like, that's great.
There's a correlation.
Great little tip, because some people don't like to eat it on an empty stomach.
Don't like to eat their medication on an empty stomach.
Yeah, or take their medication. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, I know it's like I always grew up like, okay, eat a cracker with it or something, but give yourself a little.
How about the little tip your mom told you about taking your meds?
Yeah, that's a good one. So my mom has a friend in my hometown, and she told my mom an easy way to swallow your pills, because there's a lot that, I literally will take a handful and I'll just do it. If you turn your head to the side
when you're trying to swallow.
When you're swallowing. So like I put them in my mouth, I take a glass of water, I turn my head, and then I swallow. And it goes down like, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But that was a good little tip.
It was a good little trick.
Good memory. Look at that.
Thanks for coming through, Deb.
Thanks, Deb. The other thing is what I have in front of me, which is this makeup. There's a couple other pieces, and I've talked about this before, but it's called Guide Beauty. It was actually created by a makeup artist who has Parkinson's. This one is the eyeliner, so you like scoop the eyeliner with this neat little wand. So for all the ladies out there, but I did try this with women in the gym, and if you're pretty far down the progression and your tremor is constant, it's probably not going to work, but it works for me because it's something I know you don't really care about this, but like you can rest it, and like you can rest on your cheek, whereas like normal eyeliner you can't do
because
that.
usually our tremors are at resting time, so I would be when you're trying to
when you're trying to hold it, yeah. But like I think it just depends, and maybe it's because we were all together and people were stressed because everyone's looking at everybody. We were putting makeup on in the gym, but this is really good. I actually use it now every day. It's called Guide Beauty, and they have a whole list of other products. But it was again developed by a makeup artist who is young-onset, and I think she developed it with Selma Blair, who has MS. So they're trying to make these products for people who need help with holding. And then the other cool thing. So I don't know what this, I'm sure it's just something you can look up on Amazon or whatever, but Can you see this? So it's magnetic. So my mother-in-law got this for me because she's had them for years. So you literally, like, you know how a normal clasp is?
Yeah, you take with our fingers. It's almost impossible.
So you take the clasp and you hook it to this magnetic piece, and same thing with the other side, and then it just literally just goes together like that. It's amazing.
Nice.
I wish I had more of them. So the only time that you need help is when you're first initially getting those
clasp on.
The initial clasp on, but other than that, it's just magnetic.
Nice.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
Whoops.
So one thing I have found to be very helpful recently is I purchased a different vehicle. Is it has lane assist, keeps you inside the lanes, because I knew I was always drifting from lane side to side like I was drunk driving.
Why?
Just because I don't know, I just, if I get distracted a little bit or something like that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. But you're still like, you're aware of.
So but having that lane assist, number one, making you aware, keeping me in between the lanes, the lines is important too.
Well, I know Steve loves his Tesla. That has been a godsend. So again, anybody wants to donate some Teslas to Parkinson's community, we're all open for it. But speaking of cars, I have lane assist, I think, but I use cruise control a lot because it's my right side that's affected. People are going to think we shouldn't be driving, but
shouldn't be.
No, so we're fine. And I promise you, I've had a couple of my friends that are like, is everybody still like good with driving? And you are. You get comfortable with it, and it's not that I'm being dangerous by any means, but it's just easing up my foot so that as if it gets tension, it's like, okay, I need to just hit cruise control, kind of wiggle it out a bit, and then just keep going.
Yeah, and the same thing with the distance on the cruise control, where it keeps you from following too closely. Yeah, that has been helpful. That has been very helpful to me as well.
Yeah, that's actually helpful for Derek too. He's always.
And he didn't even have Parkinson's.
No, he doesn't have Parkinson's. He's just never been a great driver. And speaking of being in the car, another thing that this is coming from Steve with his voice lessons. So quick tip is he practices and does his voice lessons, or not his lessons, but his own training in the car. And he sings the Star Spangled Banner.
Nice.
Would you love to hear that recording?
Good old Steve.
I think we should put a little monitor in his car one time and have it tape recorded. But I think that's good, and that's something maybe you should consider doing as well.
Maybe I will. I'm going to take that into consideration.
Maybe you should get in the car and start speaking very loudly with.
Yeah, like this.
Not like that. That's the.
Cut that part out.
No, keep that in. That's great.
No, cut that out.
Let's see. Oh, this is one that if anybody has an answer to this one.
What's that? I got answers for everything.
Oh, sure. So my parents always make, not always, but they make gnocchi. Do you ever have that?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's just like a noodle, but it's made out of potato. So you boil the potato, and it's like a pasta.
Okay.
But anyways, so you make the potato with flour, and you make it into a dough. Anyways, we would always make it together, and you have to roll it. Mm-hmm. And then there's this. Once you roll it out, you get these long thin strips, and then you cut into little pieces like this, and then we use it on a fork just to give it the texture, and you have to roll it down like this. No matter which hand I use, I can't do it.
Really?
You're supposed to push down and just have it roll off. So Caitlin does it for me, my daughter. But that's one thing that's super frustrating because it's I just can't make it by myself. I can, but it would take me forever, and it would hurt after a while. Or I'd have a couple glasses of wine with it.
So we need an occupational therapist to tell us what to do.
Well, and then they have said, anytime that you are tightening up or you're trying to write something because our writing gets really small, or you're about to type, to do these 10 times and then, start it and then do it again. But it's just you're in the kitchen for 2 hours trying to do this.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Do you cook?
Sometimes. Not as I used to.
No? What if you don't cook? What do you eat? Do you go out?
Look at my weight. Of course I go out. I've gotten fat. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe another tip. Okay, is actually...
No, we cook some. I just don't.
Did you ever use, is it called Fresh or something?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Deliver the stuff to your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dr. Malone actually had a good idea. She's like, I know some people that have, they want to eat healthier because with Parkinson's, it's, it's gut health, right?
Yeah. It is connected to the gut.
Connected to the gut, but eating like, leafy greens and fishes, stuff like that are good for you. But HelloFresh, good job. And she's like, maybe you can put like a coupon insert or something into the kit for people to receive, because it's hard sometimes to make dinner for just yourself or for even a couple, and it's, time consuming and whatnot. But that would actually also be a good tip, because you don't, what you put in your body is very important.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. So good in, good out. I don't know. Another thing I had, which is, I thought everybody would do this, but I don't think you do it. I have alarms. I hope you shower. Is I put alarms on my phone for every time I need to take my medication.
Yeah,
You don't do that?
I never did that.
Oh, I have to.
I probably should have, because there were times where it didn't matter when I wasn't having off periods. When I just first got on it, I didn't care if I took it every 4 hours. Sometimes, if I missed a dose here or there. But after right before DBS, I was taking this, taking it every 4 hours, and it was very much on that fourth hour I could feel it falling off, and that's in those alarms.
See, that's what, like, the alarms help me so that I catch it before that happens, because once you're past it, kind of that sucks.
Defeats the purpose.
Of keeping it stabilized. So I have it set for 7, 11, 3, and 7. And then this one I thought of, that Melissa tells us all the time, is to look in the mirror. So when you're exercising, like I even made, my kids do this if they think they're doing something, like, oh, I'm doing jumping jacks. It's like, do you actually look at yourself? Because you're not going all the way up. You're not doing the big motions or movements. So looking in the mirror is, I think, a really good tip to make sure you're doing the best exercising you possibly can, and not just faking through it.
Yeah.
I have another one. Do you have any others?
I'm trying to think of more.
I'll keep going.
Okay, go.
Another tip, and if this is something that you can incorporate into your life, is, talk to your company if you can, which we had an episode on that as well, of what was it called, like employment law. Try and lessen the stress where you can. That was a huge game changer for me.
Yeah.
In terms of my symptoms.
Yeah, because I think part of it is you don't feel like you're trying to hide something from them if you're upfront about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I'm still working,
right?
And I can still work. I have the knowledge. It's not going anywhere, but I couldn't. Managing a team was just something that was starting to be overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
Or having certain deadlines. So now, like, I do more project-based work, which works better with my symptoms.
Great.
I have another one.
All right, keep going. Roll them out of your puppy.
I think this is the last one. It's called Glee, and it's a potting soil mix. And and she just had me try it out. So I used it, and it's very light, so it's not like the heavy bags. And then when I was using it, it was like it's like soft and like fluffy, and it doesn't get the dirt on your hands. And then I don't have to water it, because it's like one of the things I always. Not that you don't have to water it. You do have to water it, but not as often as other ones. And I just think from from a tip standpoint, there are, if you're a gardener and it's something you enjoy and you feel like you haven't been able to get out and do it because Parkinson's you feel like holding you back, don't. There's actually, I think it was on the Davis Finney Foundation, and Brian Grant had something out there as well, like when it comes to gardening. So again, like, good tip is, don't stop doing things that you enjoy doing. Just find other ways to do it. Now this is really my last one. What do you think? Is this a good tip to, if this is for anybody, if you have Parkinson's or not, I guess, but does animals help you? You have 3 dogs.
I do have 3 dogs, and
I have 2.
I think, for the most, yes and no.
Okay.
I love their cuddles and their hugs and their petting them and hanging out with them and stuff like that. No, because they follow me around so much that I'm tripping around. Like I'll turn around real quick and I'll be tripping over one of them and almost fall and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But I'll take that chance with every day versus the other option of not having a dog.
That's the thing. I have 2, and they're little ones. And I've actually, a couple people at the gym have asked me, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Like, we want to get one so bad. I'm like, honestly, I'd be very careful because the little one like follows me, and it's like, I can turn around. And even in my family, like everybody does. And they either step on her or, we used to. But like, you really have to be careful so that you don't get tied up like in a leash or, fall and get, break anything. So it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I love how they wake me up in the morning, and like it's like somebody's excited to see me because my kids are teenagers now, so nobody really cares.
They're not excited to see.
They're not excited to see me anymore. That's all I got.
That was a pretty good list.
Yeah. So if you have any tips or tricks that you use throughout your day with your hobbies, or again with cooking, anything, your day-to-day life, leave us a comment. We'd love to know. We'd love to share it. And we'll probably do another one of these episodes some point soon. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.